Is Qatar building an Air Force base in Idaho? Mountain Home was in the national news this week after Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announced that Qatar will be building an Air Force facility there. There was an immediate uproar from conservatives, both national and local, at the idea of Qatar, a nation with direct ties to terrorism, building an Air Force base in the heart of Idaho. So what's going on? In 2017, the US sold 36 F-15 QAs to Qatar for $12 billion. By the way, the QA means that these fighters have reduced capabilities compared to the normal F-15s the US military uses. As part of the sale, the US agreed to train the Qatari on the aircraft at an existing US military base. The first aircraft were delivered in October of 2022, and Mountain Home was tapped as a logical location to perform the training, since it is one of only two US bases that has F-15Es, which are similar to the reduced capability F-15 QAs being sold to Qatar. The deal signed this week made that official. This is not uncommon for the United States. Germany, the UK, the Netherlands, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and many other countries are trained at domestic US bases. Mountain Home itself is currently home to a training detachment from Singapore. The facilities these troops are housed and trained in are owned by the United States. They are not separate sovereign spaces like a foreign military base would be. The approximate 170 Qatari trainee pilots will be subject to the US law, just like any of the troops at Mountain Home. So first, this is not a base, but simply US-controlled housing for trainee pilots. Hegseth's use of the term facility was probably unwise, but this is nothing out of the ordinary, as confirmed by JD Vance a few days later. And second, this is a relatively minor technical detail in a deal that was made 8 years ago in the first Trump administration. There certainly is a larger conversation to be had about the US maintaining alliances with foreign powers that are strategically located but ideologically opposed to our values. However, in the case of the letter signed this week, the outrage is largely misplaced. If you found this interesting, leave us a like and follow for more local Idaho news.